One of the most common questions that we find we're being asked by people who find us on the internet is, what is the value of my case? How can I calculate the value of my case? What are the elements that make it up? Well, there's no tried and true exact way to determine what your case is worth. But I'm going to go over the elements of what is involved in the calculation. While this is not the number one most important thing, I want to deal with this first. Your case is not going to get settled unless it's in front some way or another in the workers' compensation judge's realm. There's no impetus for the insurance companies to do this. Unless you've been on workers' comp for a long, long time, they aren't motivated to resolve the case unless there's litigation one way or another. And that litigation can take the form of expanding the description of your injury, increasing your average weekly wage, or the insurance company trying to somehow stop the benefits. And that being the case, it's important who the judge is. Now, people ask me, well, why is that so important? Well, judges are human. And in Pennsylvania, we have some judges who lean heavily in favor of the employer, some heavily in favor of the employee, and some middle of the road. And so it's important. It's important to know where your case is or could be headed. Secondly is the nature of your injury. How serious is the injury? But more important, what do the future medical consequences look like? A lot of people think that the value of their case is based upon their wages. It's not really, it's a major factor, but it's the medical expenses that drive the settlement because they're kind of unpredictable. You never really know, especially if you're trying to expand the description of your injury. And normally what the insurance company has done is, say you've fallen 20 feet off of a scaffolding somewhere and suffered some serious fractures, they may just describe the injury as bumps and bruises and then only want to pay for fixing bumps and bruises. Another good reason to be going right to an attorney if you see the insurance company pulling that fast one. But it's those future medical expenses that are somewhat unpredictable. Now, over the years, the insurance carriers have developed a computer program called Colossus. And this program tracks every single injury claim, not just workers' comp, but injury claim, and can predict with relative certainty what a case will cost jurisdiction by jurisdiction from a medical standpoint. However, in Pennsylvania, it's an unlimited benefit, unlimited in terms of time, unlimited in terms of amount. The medical expenses have to be reasonable, necessary, causally related, and a lot of times, while it might not be so much surgery or therapy, there's prescriptions that become a part of your life for long periods of time, and those expenses are substantial in Pennsylvania. So that's one of the factors. As I said, the wages, the extent of your injury, your age. Now, you're going to be able to recover. And to what extent are you going to be able to recover? And to what extent are you able to be retrained or take skills that you've had developed over the years, perhaps as a nurse or as a heavy construction worker? How are you going to be able to transfer those skills into something else, into some other profession or occupation? The less able you're able to do that, the bigger what I call grub stake you're going to need in order to go on with your life. And in Pennsylvania, there's going to come a point in time where your injury is going to be rated, an impairment rating of less than 50%. Then at that point in time, the insurance carrier or the employer only owe you an additional 500 weeks of benefits. Now, it may sound like a lot, but it's only 9.5 years or so of benefits, and after that, they're off the hook. These are the empirical elements that work into the calculation of your claim. The insurance carrier is another element. If it's a old line insurance company, they are more likely to be realistic in evaluating your case. If it's a self-insured, which more and more are here in Pennsylvania, the less realistic they are. So that's why the big unknown, the judge's proclivities, claimant or employer, is an important aspect. Because if they see the handwriting on the wall, or you see the handwriting on the wall, then you have to evaluate your expectations accordingly.